Hey girls, so this is lesson number 4 and it's factorising using the difference of two squares. So you have come across square numbers already, right? Another point that I made is this is based on slides 11 and 12 in the PowerPoint in your channel, say, right, that I've uploaded. So remember, numbers called 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 are called perfect squares. Why are they called perfect squares or square numbers? Is because we can think of a number that when you multiply itself twice will give you 1, will give you 4, will give you 9, will give you 16 and so on. So 2 squared will give you 4. 2 multiplied by 2 gives you 4. 3 squared will give you 9. 4 squared will give you 16. 5 squared will give you 25. 6 squared will give you 36. 7 squared will give you 49. So these are all classed as squared numbers. So similarly, in algebra, 4x squared is the same as saying 2x squared. Because if you multiply 2x, sugar, get another pen. Actually, I don't have one that works, a blue one. Let's see, no, sorry. Okay, because 2x multiplied by 2x will give you 4x squared. Also, 9y squared is the same as saying 3y squared, because if we multiply 3y by itself twice, won't that give me 9y squared? So 9y squared and 4x squared are classed as square numbers as well, okay? So as this page here, I would like you to take down as notes, okay? Do take this page down as notes so far. So expressions such as 10 squared minus 4 squared, or x squared minus y squared, and 4x squared minus 9 are known as the difference of two squares, right? So when you multiply x plus y times x minus y, so look at the only difference here is there's a plus here and there's a minus here. You get x squared minus y squared. So thus, the factors of x squared minus y squared are really x plus y and x minus y. So the formula really that we can come up with for the difference of two squares is that x squared minus y squared is equal to x plus y and x minus y. So it's like you're taking the number that you were squaring, putting it here and here, and the x value, and the y value that you were squaring, putting it here and here, and just putting two signs, a plus and a minus here. So we can also say that this is the first squared minus whatever the second number squared is equal to first plus the second times the first minus the second. And the only way that this can work is that when there's a minus sign in the middle and both of these are square numbers, okay, to some degree. So I'm going to go to slide 11 now in your PowerPoint, right, just to go through the array model, how it works as well, okay? So if you look at this, what is the area of the shaded region shown? Okay, so let's have a look here. How would you work out the shaded regions here? What would you come up with first? So it is like, I suppose, a square, but there's been a little section taken out. So the area really is like 5 squared minus 2 squared, because it's like the area of 5 times 5, the whole thing, minus the area of 2 times 2, that little square. So that's really 25 minus 4, which is equal to 21 square units, okay? Now look at here. How would I get the area of this, right? And aren't they squared numbers? Because 5 squared is 25, or 25 is a squared number and 4 is a squared number. So how do we come up with? We just said 5 squared minus 2 squared. Here then, we have, if you think about it, x squared minus 3 squared, which are both square numbers, okay, because x squared minus 9. So similarly, each shaded region can be rearranged while preserving the area, right? So let's look at this one here. So we have 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, or 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, right? Now, the area of that is the same as saying 5 minus 2 times 5 plus 2, okay? So say this was classed as 5 plus 2 and this is 5 minus 2, which is 3 times 7, which is 21 square units. Similarly, over here, the area would be x minus 3 times x plus 3, which is the difference really. So 5 squared minus 2 squared really is the same as saying 5 minus 2 times 5 plus 2. And same with over here, x squared minus 3 squared is the same as saying x minus 3 and x plus 3. So, rule that we've come up with is that a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b times a plus b, right? And there's an example of 2 here, right? So factorize y squared minus 36. Now I think I have a few more examples that I have done in the copy here that I'm going to go through as well. So how do we set it up, right? So first of all, we say that y squared is the same as saying y all in brackets we squared. and that 36 is the same as saying 6 all in brackets to be squared. So remember the rule is a squared minus b squared is really a minus b times a plus b. So really that's the same as saying y minus 6 times y plus 6. And that's your answer for that. It's the difference of two squares, because you can see that y squared is a squared number. 36 is a squared number, because what you multiply twice by to give you y squared, it's y, and what you multiply twice to give you 36 is 6. Okay? Now, difference of two squares will always have a minus sign in one bracket and a plus sign in the other. Okay, let's look at the next one. X squared minus 196. Okay, x squared is a square number because what you multiply by itself twice to give you x squared, it's x, and 196 is a squared number because what you multiply twice by to give you 196, it's 14. So really that's the same as writing x squared minus 14 squared. Okay, and remember the rule was a squared minus b squared. This is a squared, this is b squared, is really the first minus the second times the first plus the second. So it's really x minus 14 and x plus 14. And that's your answer then for that. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few more examples that I have here, right? So factorize the following. So x squared minus 25, right? So the first thing I think about is what's this the same as saying this is x squared. 25 is saying 5 squared. So remember, you set up your two brackets, you put a plus in one, you put a minus in the other. Remember the formula is x plus y and x minus y, or a minus a plus b and a minus b. Doesn't matter which one you put first. If you put the minus first or the plus first, that's fine. So we've got x plus 5 and x minus 5. That's your answer. You factorize using the difference of two squares. Now, y squared minus 64. Y squared is a square number because y times y will give me y squared. And 64 is a squared number because 8 times 8 will give me 64. So really this is the same as saying y all in brackets to be squared minus 8 all in brackets to be squared. Open up your two brackets. Remember, put a plus in one, put a minus in another. Remember this formula here. So it's first plus second. So we've got y plus 8 times y minus 8. Now, if you multiply that out and checked it, it should bring you back to this. Okay, so actually I might do that over here just to show you how we can show that it should be the same, right? So we've got y minus 8. Sorry, y plus 8 times y minus 8. Okay, so remember that's the same as saying the first bracket multiplied into the second bracket. First bracket multiplied into the second bracket. So we'll take our time. So we'll just say this is checking. Answer. So we'll have y times y plus y times minus 8. And then we'll have plus 8 times y. Sorry, I hope I fit this. Plus 8 times minus 8. Right, so we've got y times y, which is y squared. We have y plus y times minus 8, which is minus 8y. Plus 8 times y, which is plus 8y. And then plus 8 times minus 8, which is minus 64. Won't that cancel with that and be left with y squared minus 64, which is what you have here. So yes, you have factorized this correctly. Okay? The next one then is just rolling in a slightly different order, but it's the same method, right? We're factorizing 144 minus x squared. Okay? So 144 is a squared number because what you multiply by itself twice to give you 144 is 12. X squared is a squared number because what you multiply by itself twice to give you x squared is x. So we've got 12 squared minus x squared, which is going to be the same as saying 12 all in brackets squared minus x all in brackets squared. So we'd say 12 plus x and 12 minus x. Okay, we just remember, put the first plus the second. So the first plus the second times the first minus the second. That's your answer. And then finally, your fourth example, which you can take down as well. Factorize x squared minus 169. Okay, so x squared is a square number because what you multiply twice to give you x squared is x. 169 is a squared number because what you multiply twice by to give you 169 is 13. So we've got x all in brackets to be squared minus 13 all in brackets to be squared. So this will be x plus 13 times x minus 13, and that is your answer then for that. And as I said, if you want to check whether you factorize it correctly, you can go and multiply out your two factors and it should bring you back to the original term. So hopefully that makes sense, but I would like you to take down this page and the examples. You don't necessarily have to take down the examples that are in the that are on the The array model is just kind of showing you how they come up with the formula, but if you want to take down those other 2 examples as well, you can. You could have 6 examples, but these 4 are fine to take down, and make sure you understand this part. Okay?